All right, we're going to get started. As a reminder, this week we're operating at the 11 a.m. hour. By the way, this is a supplemental class, supplemental to your online education at myshibboleth.com. Please watch the fast track videos, take that test, pass the test, and earn that fast track badge so that you can get more benefit out of these classes where they're really supplemental gap fillers, void fillers, where something's missing in your information, the translation of the information, or you've hit a plateau, or you have some behavior modification issues, or that's what these classes are for. But we're going to be operating, instead of on 1 hour classes this week, we're going to be operating with 30-minute classes this week, just due to a demanding schedule. So we've got about 30 minutes here to answer questions, keep everybody moving forward. My name's Travis Martin. I've lost over 100 pounds on the program. The program's changed my life. It's been an honor of a lifetime to be able to have my steps ordered. Never thought I would be doing this for 20 years, but to have my steps ordered and be able to help tens of thousands of others so that we can all reconnect with the Holy Spirit, with moderation, wellness, life more abundantly, live for something other than food, live unto God. That's what we're trying to do. Live with more joy, live with more peace. And it's just been amazing to be a small part of so many lives. For that, we bow our unworthy head and give Jesus the praise for it all. We've got 3 types of members here. We've got our free community members, our lifetime members, and our partners. Thank you. If you're a lifetime member or partner, I cannot do what I do without you. It's a new economic climate, has been since pre-COVID, and we're trying our best to adjust and stay true to the calling, which is to remove all barriers of entry so that anyone, anywhere who needs help, sincere help, we can provide them that help. But as you know, it costs a lot of money to do that. We need to maintain our support team. We cannot do it without you great people, you lifetime members and partners. So if you're not already a lifetime member, do consider becoming one. It's only $49 and you get so much more when you become a lifetime member. $49 lifetime membership, pay once, never pay again. And then when you become a lifetime member, obviously $49 does not cover the cost of administrating the program to a single soul. So we ask for you to pray and become a special part of our ministry and become a partner and receive partner perks for $5 a month or more. Whether you're donating $100 a month or $5 a month, the perks are the same. We're no respecter of person. We just ask that people give according to the unction of the Holy Ghost. So you can go to www.helpshibboleth.com. Helpshibboleth.com. We are still, for the year, we've lost significant money, up into 5 figures, starting to get to 6 figures, all that coming from more loans. We need your help in order to keep our team. If we've been good to you and you want to be good to us, $5 a month, if it don't hurt you, it will help us. www.helpshibboleth.com. All right. Without further ado, any questions for me? Questions or comments? Weight loss, wellness, food combinations, meal ideas, everything, including tech support. But if it's a tech support question, I got to get you to our great team so that we don't spend the whole, 10, 15, 20 minutes just going over some sort of individual issue you're having with tech. But we do have a great team on standby through all work hours during the day that's ready to help you with any tech issues that you might be having as well. Questions, comments, bring it on. Let's do it. Let's keep moving forward. Nothing that we can do better outside of giving our heart and life to Jesus Christ. Nothing we can do better than take care of our temple. It makes the good times easier to get, or more fun to get through. We have more fun during the good times. I remember going to the beach when I was overweight with the kids. I couldn't stand to be out there. I looked like I would wear like these humongous clothes to hide my flesh. I was so embarrassed. I'd get hot. I didn't feel like doing anything. So even the good times, being overweight, it robbed me of much of that good time. Whereas now I really enjoy those good times. And speaking of the hard times that we've all been through, if we've lived long enough, we've been through some crises. When you're overweight, it just makes the crises so much more difficult to get through. So when you become a self-confident person, full of self-esteem, you've operated for some length of time with daily discipline, you just have so much more reservoir within to get through the difficult times. So I know nothing that enhances life better than losing excess fat and keeping it off forever. All right, y'all, let's do it. I'm looking on Facebook. Hello, Facebook folks. We work for stars, just saying. Wow, things have changed a lot over 20 years. I work for stars now. Hey, Melinda. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Any questions? Let's go now. Don't be shy. We've only got about 20 minutes today. Patty Bass, listening while making breakfast casserole from Recipe Library. That's a good one. Like that breakfast casserole. It's approved, controls insulin. If we control our portion, we're getting an efficient fat burning with something tasty, and we're locking it down and ripping off the knob. Good morning, Shirley. Good to have Shirley with us in the Zoom room. Hey, Shirley. Don't forget, if you're shy and you prefer to ask your question anonymously in the Zoom room, you can click the Q&A button, and I'll try to be mindful not to mention your name. Patricia Hurt. Hello, my friend. Success depends on daily discipline, Tristan. Patricia says, I got my son Tristan on my mind. Determination wins. Amen. Good day, everyone. Any questions? Hello, Linda. Alice Bolt, morning. Are we supposed to weigh out our meat before or after we cook it? I never weigh my meat. I never do that. As y'all very well know, I just use the hand rule. So this is what I do. I'm going to go through how I do it, and then how folks who prefer more pinpointed approach can do it. I've lost all of my weight, kept it off with the Shibboleth Shield. Water, journal, food combinations, portions. If it's approved, ding, 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 teaching moment for everybody. If it's approved, a recipe, a restaurant dish, 2 whole foods combined, 3 whole foods combined properly. If it's combined properly, is an approved recipe, is an approved food that you're combining right with other, and you put it on your portion plate, day after day after day, your protein is going to be spot on. I know it sounds too simple. I understand. I would feel the same if I were you, but it's not. So the protein is going to fall in place perfectly going to fall in place and be adequate for everybody that's here. If day in and day out, unless you're eating one thing, like if you're having nothing but peanut butter sandwiches every single day, we would have to talk about your protein, but that's not practical, right? You're not doing that every day. So what we're worried about is what does your dietary intake look like over the course of a month? I know we want those quick fixes, everyone. I know that we want to reverse years of self-sabotage overnight. Not going to happen, but we can keep having wishful thinking. What we really need is a sustainable approach to weight loss, which I believe is water, journaling, food combinations for insulin control, portions per meal and per day, and digestive timing. I believe that's it. You don't need to count grams. You don't need to do any of that. So I lost all of my weight by following the portion rule with approved items. And if you do that, your protein, by the end of your first week, your protein is going to have been spot on. You're going to get barely adequate levels of protein, but you'll get adequate levels of protein to preserve muscle, to promote good health, to rebuild your metabolism. You're also going to get the insulin control that we need. So following the rules. But now I know that we have people that just drives them crazy, right? Not saying it does Alice. I'm just assessing the whole group. We have people driving crazy. I need to know my calories. I need to know my grams of protein. I need to know my fat. If we want to do that, guess what? We do that too. But I always give that long-winded disclaimer because you've got the majority of people here, if they've got for life to count their grams of protein, and they're just not going to do it. Even if they think they will, they don't, they quit, they think it's too hard. I never want Shibboleth to become the gram counting program, okay? Macro counting program. If you follow the red column, yellow column, blue column, and portion control, You got no worries. Now, with that said, we have people that want to pinpoint, okay? So let's say Allison wants to pinpoint the best way if you're looking to get in 2 to 6 ounces of meat, Alice, because you're a female, 2 to 6 ounces. We want to do that to give you a little extra cushion, a little extra food. I think I've said in the past, because I was tougher on people, do it, weigh that food before it's cooked, especially with fatty proteins, because by the end you're really getting less. I don't want to do you that way. So just weigh it after you cook it. That way you'll get more. It won't matter much with a lean chicken breast. It's going to be about the same pre-cooked as it is post-cooked. But when you're getting into the fattier meats, those fattier meats like category 4 meats, then you're going to cook a lot of the fat out of it. So if you said that you could have 6 ounces of steak, by the time that thing's cooked, it's really probably only 4 ounces or 3 ounces. And I don't want to do you that way. I'm going to give you more. So why don't you weigh it post-cooked if you want to weigh out your grams? Hope that makes sense. Brittany, how do you log a 30-minute yoga session in repetitions? And how do you log a 2-minute plank? Very, very simply, with a yoga session, 1 hour of intense yoga should count as 300 repetitions. We look at just like the calorie burn for it, okay? So go into miscellaneous exercise, or you can add your own exercise. I don't know if y'all know how to do that, but you can add it in your journal. If you'll spend time in that journal, you'll find some cool stuff. So let me just go do that for you because you may not have ever looked at it before. So I'm going to go to myshibboleth.com, and there's a couple of ways to log your exercise. So I'm going into myshibboleth.com, and I'm going to go to resources. And then I'm going to go to exercises, way number 1. I don't think yoga is listed. Let's see if it is. Yoga. No, it's not listed. Now, I'll show you how to add that in a moment if you want it called yoga. But anytime there's not an exercise for what I'm doing, I like CrossFit or Zumba or something like that. I go to miscellaneous, any exercise that's not listed. And then when I go in here, I create my session, my date, duration, repetitions, any weights I used if it was a specific exercise. But for something like yoga, I would do something like this. Duration, 60 minutes. Let's see how that looks here. 60, I did, let's say I did 45 minutes. Whoops, I didn't finish that. Sorry. Boom, put in the time. I'm getting in a rush. Sorry about that. Let me slow down. 45 minutes and no weights used, repetitions. All right. So yoga, if you're doing it intensely, 1 hour is 300 repetitions. That means a half an hour would be 150 repetitions. So I'm going to say it was 200 repetitions if I do the math. And now I've got that exercise listed in there, and it shows me how many of those sessions I'm doing. Because it's not a specific exercise and it's just yoga, it's a little harder to measure long term how you're performing in the exercise. Like if you're just doing a plank, like you mentioned, a plank. So I'm going to go back to my exercise topic and I'll put in plank. There's a plank right there. So I pull plank up. Now it's a little easier because I'm not doing a hodgepodge of activity in 30 minutes or an hour like CrossFit or yoga. I'm doing one specific activity. So here I'm going to create, and I go to my date. It's today's date. How long did I perform the plank? I performed it. Say that I made it 60 seconds. So I made it 60 seconds. I didn't use any weight. No weight used. It's not a repetitious type thing. So my duration, let me get it. I keep resetting for some reason. Repetitions. It's making me do it. All right, hold on. Oh, I forgot. We didn't. Sorry, my bad. It's been a while since I logged a plank. So I messed that up. So with a darn it, I'm gonna get that fixed. I don't like that. What we had asked folks to do, and I forgot all about it, was like if you did 60 seconds with a plank, that was 60 repetitions. It's making you add repetitions. So if I was going to do that, then if I was putting in my time, I messed that up. This is not going well. I never circled back around and got that fixed with a developer. So if it was 45-second plank, then I was counting that as 45 repetitions. And then it registered. So let me screenshot this to remind to add one more thing to my developers list, because when we're talking about a plank, we really need to just enter time and not repetitions, because that's a time-based thing. Sorry about that. I botched that up. But let me go to journal. If you want to add your own exercises, you go into challenges and exercises, and you'll see log an exercise, my exercise, log my exercise. So here, when I create my exercise, you can add your own. So like if you wanted to add yoga, and the reason that you add your exercises, keep in mind, is so that you can measure over a long period of time if you're improving in that specific exercise. So you actually can make this up in a meaningful way to yourself. Like previously I said planks, you could measure in repetitions. Like if you knew when I enter a plank, if I know 45 seconds is 45 reps, then over a long period of time, I can track if I'm improving in specific exercises. So if I went from a 45 rep or 45-second plank, and then 3 months later, I'm doing a 2-minute plank, I know that I've improved. It's a way for you to measure in a way that's meaningful to you. So here I added the yoga exercise. Now, when I go back to my journal, and I go to challenges and exercises, I can log my own exercise. So in my own exercise box, I find yoga where I added it. And then I know that I did 1 hour of yoga. So I'm going to count that as 300 repetitions. I didn't use any weight, and then I save it. And then that's going to log it in my exercise repetitions. If I check off exercise challenge, like if I wanted to challenge myself in exercise today and save it, I click the box, exercise challenge today. You can earn a soldier badge, a Spartan badge, or a savage badge, and I save it. Now, when I go in there, I can see everybody that is trying to earn one of these badges, and I can see that so far today, ding, ding, ding. I know I got off track, but I'm back on track. I can see that I added yoga and I counted it as 300 repetitions. And this goes towards me earning my savage badge, because to earn a savage badge, I have to have a perfect day. I have to get in 10 miles extra, 10 miles of stepping, and I have to get in 300 repetitions. So I'm on my way to get a savage badge if I get 10 miles. Now, if I don't get 10 miles and I get 7 miles in a perfect day, then I'll get my Spartan badge, because now with the yoga, I've got plenty of repetitions. This is a way to measure your ongoing activity and see if you're improving over time. I hope that helped. I messed the first part of that up, but I'll have to work with my developer to relook at how we do exercises that aren't repetition based. Yeah, and how do you log a 2-minute plank? Does everybody understand that I personally would log a 2-minute plank as 120 repetitions? Does that make sense, everyone? Allison was talking about the challenge. I didn't know Miss Allison was talking about the challenge when she asked about 4 ounces for the challenge. I didn't realize that was the scope. But don't worry about it, Alice. Just follow the hand rule. I just put that out there when I do a challenge to keep people from overindulging. So if you use the portion rule that we went over for the challenge, your meat will be okay. You'll be spot on. How do you log karate workouts? Deborah, let me know if what I said just made sense. It would parallel my already given response. Karate workout, 1 hour, I would suggest 300 repetitions. That's what I do for my jiu-jitsu workouts. But did you see how to add the karate as a label so you don't have to use miscellaneous? Let me know if you've seen. If you didn't, I'll show you again. That's something that bears going over a lot because we don't talk about it in class a lot. But if you'll let me know, do you now know how to add the karate label so that you can keep up with that? 1 hour of intense training, I count as 300 repetitions. That's on the downside, but I'd rather underestimate than overestimate to be fair to all other challengers. Stephanie, how do I alleviate stomach cramps? I only got them last night. Last meal was 5 p.m. to M&S Delta during a penalty day. I don't know because it was just a one-off. We don't know yet. I'm glad that you're not giving up. I see that comment. Don't give up. But I don't know because this was a one-off. Is stomach cramp something that is ongoing for you? Was this just out of the blue? Yesterday, what was your penalty day? Maybe we have to talk to Jack and change your penalty day. Maybe he upset the stomach. But is this a one-off for you? Never happened before? I wouldn't be alarmed if it was a one-off. Let's see what happens today because you're changing your eating behaviors. And anytime we change from a glycogen-based eating lifestyle to a fat-adapted metabolism lifestyle, you're going to have, the body's going to do some resistance at times. Your body, if you think about it, if you evolve, let me give you another way to look at it. Caffeine. If you consume caffeine all the time, every day, and then you quit cold turkey, you're asking for headaches. Why would you be asking for headaches? Well, caffeine restricts your vascular system. So then when you come off caffeine, that vascular system opens back up and it can cause intense headaches for a season. Same thing when we're changing from a glycogen-dependent metabolism to more of a fat-adapted metabolism. Your body's got to have some time to adjust. So what I would be concerned, is this a one-off? Because like last night, I had cramps and it had nothing to do with my diet. Nothing to do with my diet. I know exactly what it had to do with. I had way too many bonitos about 2 days ago. And that caused some cramps as my body's trying to work through all that fiber that I had. I ate way too many navy beans. What do you mean navy beans? Navy beans and bonitos. And usually you've got about a 1 to 2 day lag time before those digestive issues start causing cramps because the full digestion process of a food takes 36 hours. So whatever you were doing yesterday, it isn't always related to what you were doing yesterday. It could be, but sometimes it's not. It could be something that's finally getting through the elimination phase of the digestion phases, and now it's causing some upset. So this could be a one-off. So let's wait and see, and let's don't get upset yet. And if it happens for the next few days, maybe we can then identify what your problems are. I don't know if you do katas, but I have no idea what that is. Is that a karate term? I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. I know nothing about karate. Could you tell me what a KATAS is? Can you please show us how to add miles? So adding miles is very simple. If you go into the exercise section here, okay, you'll see that if your Fitbit isn't synced up, if your Fitbit's synced up, now this is a tech issue. If you can't get your Fitbit synced up, I need you to refer that to Joni during the day. Joni works actively with our members and helps them with tech support issues. We don't want to take 30 minutes to show you how. It wouldn't take you that long to sync it, but you have to also work in the Fitbit dashboard. So you got to get Fitbit and my Shibboleth to talk, and that's great when you do. Then your Fitbit will just override this section. But if you don't have a Fitbit synced up here, we simply put our walk and see where it says miles walked today. It says challenges and exercises. See where it says miles walked today, or it says steps. So if I'm looking at my Fitbit right now says 1,164 steps so far today, and it says miles walked 0.57, 0.57, and then I save. And let's see what happens. Let's see if anything happens. So I click it, and boom, right here I am. I've got 0.570. That's how much I've walked. See, it said miles walked right there. And then 1,164 steps, boom. And then because I clicked exercise challenge, I can go down here and I can see today that so far I'm a Sugar Britches badge earner, and I've walked 0.57 of 1 mile, and I've got 545 repetitions so far. I got my work cut out for me. It looks like I've got my repetitions in and I'm in solid shape. And I'm having a perfect day so far, but, well, I'm really lagging on my steps. So this lets me know every chance I get to step it up today, because I don't want to end the day as a Sugar Britches. Diane says, with planks, you could have reps. Perhaps you did it for 20 seconds 3 times. That would be 60 reps. I count holding a plank for 1 second as 1 repetition. I forgot because I haven't entered planks in forever. I hadn't done planks in years. So I forgot, okay? So if it's 3 sets of 20, you held it for 20 seconds, 20 reps. You hold it for 40 seconds, now it's 40 reps. You hold it, or 320 sets, 60 reps. That's how I would count it until we can get that fixed and designate in the back end. See, what would have to happen on the back end is the developer would have to now recode every exercise, which takes a lot of time, a lot of money. So we'd have to recode every exercise, and I got to get on that for y'all, because those exercises that's not repetition based, it's time based, you're having to put it in as repetitions. And I told people years ago and I forget what I know sometimes, that until we could get around to that, because they'd have to code every exercise, whether it was repetition based, time based. And boy, I wish we could get to all that a lot faster. Y'all forgive me. We'll do the best we can. But just do repetition. If you hold a plank for 60 seconds, 60 repetitions. If you hold it for 3 minutes, 180 repetitions. That's how I would do it right now, everybody. Jamira, I can't find that on the website when I look from my phone. That might be a tech issue for you, since I don't have your phone with me, or a phone that I got my Facebook streaming through my phone that's sitting here, and I'm streaming through the desktop. So maybe if Joni could get with you and help you find that on your phone, whatever you were looking for, I assume some aspect of the exercise section. Now, time out though, the app doesn't have that. The app is just an interface to the website. The app is just an interface to the website. Now, the mobile-friendly website, if you pull it up from your Safari browser or Chrome browser on your phone, you have access to the exercise and everything. But the app was never intended to replace the website. It's just an interface to allow people to more quickly journal, if that's what you're talking about. How did I get 300 repetitions for yoga? Because there's no way for me to count yoga. So there's infinite numbers of yoga poses, right, Diane? There's infinite numbers. Downward dog, and it goes on forever. So you've got infinite numbers of yoga poses without me going in there and adding every single yoga pose that I've ever found, and then letting you say how long you held it for time. I don't see many clients using that at this time. So I don't see that's a good place to put our resources and times to add all the yoga poses. So what I suggested was, so that one could participate in the exercise challenges, is to add an exercise, their exercise, yoga. And then what I do with yoga or jiu-jitsu or karate or any activity like Zumba or Orange Theory, CrossFit, if I go to CrossFit, you see, if I'm in that exercise session for an hour, they're running you so fast, you don't really have time to count every repetition. And in fact, when the session's over, if you went and sat down and try to log all that in, you'd have some difficulty. Not that you couldn't do it, but it would be hard because you've intensely trained. You didn't get to stop and write down all that in the middle of your group exercise session type of thing. So what I suggest that people do with those types of activities, yoga would be one of those activities. Like if I do jujitsu, I can't count how many times I went for a choke. 1, 2, 3. So I couldn't do that. So if I got in a good hour of intense jujitsu, I count that as 300 repetitions, which is really is counting it very low. I would actually need to count that higher, but on the honor system, I count it low. So any group exercise activity, so that you can participate in those group exercise challenges, counted as repetition. So I just made a decision, if you will. I said, okay, let's count any group exercise like yoga as 300 repetitions per hour. Water aerobics, 300 repetitions per hour. Anything like that that's hard to put a beat on, it's 300 repetitions an hour. It is 150 repetitions for 30 minutes. It is 75 repetitions for 15 minutes. Does that make sense, Diane? Y'all let me know that makes sense. And when we can get down the road and do better with that, we'll do better with that and add every exercise that we can come up with and designate whether it's a time-based, rep-based, but we're not there because not many people use that feature. I wish more would use it, and then we'd be able to put more time and effort into that. Deborah's having headaches right now, nothing but water yesterday, and today no coffee. Maybe have you a little caffeine, Deborah. That sounds like it might be. I'm not a doctor. If that continues, we need to see a medical provider for that issue. But what I would suggest is adding a little caffeine. Go on and do that. Jack will let you do that if you're ill. If you're not ill, you shouldn't do it. But if you're really ill, even Jack is compassionate and would let you have a little bit of caffeine. Okay, even on a penalty day, if you're really ill. Only you know if you are. The honor system, right? Jack, whatever Jack told you doing challenge, you need to do unless you've fallen ill. And then the way I would correct that, if you've got a really bad headache and are suffering, only you know if it's just discomfort or if it's really pain. If you've got a discomfort headache, push through it. If you've got a painful headache, then let's try to get a cup of coffee or something. Just don't tell anybody, okay? No, I don't see Vicki and Apple Watch getting synced anytime until we have vast resources to put more stuff, more time, more effort into it, jump through Apple's hoops. Fitbit, we got that alliance pretty easily. We've tried for years with Apple, and we have to do so much with our platform in order for Apple to fool with us so that we'll sell more Apple Watches for them, that I'm not so sure that's worthy of our time these days. So unfortunately, even though I have an Apple Watch too, we'll have to manually enter unless you have a Fitbit. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's right, Diane. If your Fitbit is linked, you shouldn't. If it's working properly, it's a 24-hour delay. So if it's working properly, like yesterday's steps will show up the next day. If it's working properly, then you would not have to enter that, but you need to make sure that's on you to reach out to support if it's not. But if you set up the Fitbit dashboard correctly and you set up the website correctly, it's not hard to do, by the way. If you've done that correctly, if you haven't, ask Joni. Joni can get you a little video or something. I think there's a video of us going over that. It's fairly easy to do. But yeah, if it's working correctly, then, but here's what I don't want you to do. Well, I set it up and it just wasn't working and now I didn't get credit. Well, it's up to us to look, to physically look and make sure that it is synced up properly. And if not, reach out to support, especially if you're doing a challenge. But that's right. If Fitbit is syncing with your journal, then it will automatically override and put in the steps and miles from your Fitbit, which is really cool. It makes things easy. Donna, how do you plan your exercise so that you aren't exercising all day? Oh, y'all are resourceful. Y'all can figure that out. So it depends on what I'm trying to accomplish, right? If I'm trying to get an intense workout in, I have to get up earlier. You know, it's more of me planning my day out. So I don't know what your day would look like, but I would say you would estimate what are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish, Donna? What is your priority? Is it your walking steps? That's going to take the most time, right? That's the easiest one, but takes the most time. So we know that about an hour of walking is 6,000 to 7,000 steps. So what is your goal? So let's say your goal was 15,000 steps. You're going to have to plan for about 2 hours of walking. So if you don't want to do like I do and get up at 4 and 4:30 in the morning, then you might have to split that up throughout the day. So when is your lunch break? Then your lunch break, can you prioritize that? No, I really prefer just to sit and eat lunch. Well, maybe you need to try to plan that activity level out after you get off work. But now, Donna, where I can help, it'd be really difficult for me to help you plan right here, right? Because I would have to have a dialogue with you back and forth. But if you can get with Joni with a mentor appointment and tell her what you're trying to accomplish, sometimes we just need somebody to help us, right? We just need them to help open our mind up to how we can be more resourceful with the time that we have. Busy people make things happen. I bet Donna's a busy person. I'm a busy person. So when we've got to think about one more thing that we've got to get done during the day, sometimes we can just say, forget it, right? Am I right? We can forget it. I don't want to do it. But busy people make things happen. So busy people are the most resourceful people. And I bet Donna's a busy person. So it might just be getting some fresh eyes to look at your schedule with you, Donna, and helping you figure out what you're going to. Now, you may not have enough time to get it all. I would love to get my jiu-jitsu in every day. That's an hour. I would love to get 20,000 steps in a day. That's 3 hours. And then I would love to get my CrossFit type activities in. That's another 30 minutes. I don't have 4.5 hours a day to work out, not at one time or even broken out throughout the day. So then I have to prioritize. So right now, my prioritization is not fat burning. If my prioritization was fat burning, does anybody know this is a good teaching moment? This is a good teaching moment right here. Does anybody know if I've got the following type activities? I've got brisk walking. Let me put that down to make sure nobody thinks that says leisurely walking, right? So I've got brisk walking, and then I've got weight training. Okay, some type of weight training or resistance training. Then something like karate or water aerobics, group exercise. Okay, so brisk walking, weight training, group exercise. So if I'm trying to lose body fat, which of these 3 activities are the highest priority? Brisk walking, weight training, or group exercise? Does anybody know? It's actually counterintuitive, I think. Brisk walking, all the way. What is brisk walking? 220 minus your age times 70%. That's where you need to get your heart rate, and you need to lock it down and walk as long as you have the time to do it. We all can walk. We can always take one more step. And every step you take while you're in efficient fat burning, you're burning 4% of 1 calorie is coming out of your extra fat stores. That's beautiful. So Donna, everybody that has a goal of weight loss, whatever time you have in the day, this is priority. So example, you need to get in 15,000 steps a day and you only have an hour a day. Don't spend any of that time weight training if you're trying to get rid of excess fat. Spend it all, even though you don't have enough time to get it all. Spend it all with brisk walking. My goals have changed. Now I limit my walking because I don't have time to do it all, and I'm spending more time on the weight training and the group training for muscle tone and to reshape my body because I only have so much time in a day. So what I would do is get with Joni or Missy or someone, say, hey, I just need fresh eyes to look at my busy schedule and help me prioritize my exercise routine. But again, when in doubt, walk. When in doubt, walk. It doesn't take any equipment. It doesn't take any special skill set. It's the best thing for fat burning if you walk briskly at this rate, this target heart rate, 220 minus your age times 70%. That's our zone. Does that make sense, everybody? I'm talking fast today, so I want to make sure we're covering the ground. The only thing I botched so far is that plank. Jamira's struggling finding badges and daily exercise. Joni, could you reach out to Jamira when you get a chance? It doesn't look like she's here anymore. Will my Android sync to it from my watch to my Shibboleth? Kimberly, I'm lost as to the question. Some of this, y'all, if y'all would expound on it, even though it takes a little longer to type it, y'all give me too much credit for keeping up. So if you'll expound on it, I would understand more. Your Android, if it has Fitbit, it's not your Android syncing with our website. It's the Fitbit website syncing with our website. We've got to get the Fitbit website to talking to our website. So whether you have iOS or Android, and if you have Fitbit, it's going to work. It wouldn't matter if it's an Android, if I'm understanding the question. Joni, I'm not sure now. I got lost whose name we're talking about. Sorry. Yeah, no, we don't, Kimberly, we don't sync with smartwatch. Sorry about that. You would need to enter it manually if you're participating in our exercise challenges. Yeah, we're just a small little ministry. We're not where we need to be yet. We're trying so hard. We're trying really hard. We do almost everything for free. And my apology, you're not asking for an apology, but we're not able to do that with every watch and every device yet. So I know it's probably another minute, which it's just valuable time. I understand, but yeah, we would need to manually enter that if you've got a Google smartwatch or some other type of watch. Yeah, you can't. That's right, Kimberly. No, we don't sync with smartwatch. No, that's right, Diane. So I'm glad to know that yours is synced. I thought it wasn't synced. My bad. So if you're synced, that's all you need. Hopefully it's working properly. If I'm working out at the gym, do I still add the 100 repetitions in addition for the challenge? You lost me there again. Are you getting like you look? In my mind, when you say that, you're going to the gym, okay? And let's say that you sit down at a bicep machine and you do 12 of these. I could enter 12 of those. If I'm doing body weight squats or I'm under the squat rack and I'm squatting, and I do 12 of those, I could enter squats, 12 of those. So I'm not sure I'm understanding you, which is my bad, not your fault, but I'm not sure I'm following you. You say, if I'm working out at the gym, do I still add the 100 reps in addition for the challenge? You add any repetitions that you do. Now, if you're in a group class like Zumba and you're unable, you're moving around, you're doing all that crazy stuff, and you moving, woo, woo, they got you doing woo, woo, and you can't count for an hour, all those repetitions. I would suggest 1 hour is 300 repetitions, and 30 minutes is 150 repetitions, and 15 minutes is 75 repetitions. But when you're doing an exercise, right? Let me give you an example. So when I'm doing an exercise, like this is my little office thing, my little bicep thing. I know what I'm doing. I'm doing a chest expander exercise. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. I ain't got no group instructor yelling at me and telling me what to do. I can actually count the reps. So with a specific exercise, we want to enter what that exercise is if it's not already in the exercise library, and then add the repetitions. That's how I do it. Now, any way that you decide to do it, there's no rules for how you journal your exercise. It's really so that you can measure your long-term results. Are we making progress? That's really, so if for you, you'd rather count it some other way, do that. But when we're doing an exercise challenge, we want to be fair to our peer group. So if you got one person that's going and doing water aerobics and they're counting an hour as 1,000 reps, and another person's doing it right and counting water aerobics as 300 reps, that other person's got an unfair advantage in the challenge. So we come up with rules where we can. So Deborah says, in karate, we call forms, I hope I'm saying this right, katas. I know nothing about karate, only jiu-jitsu. But congratulations on being a superb martial artist. That's great. That's probably why I like you so much, because you're in that community. I love our fellow martial artists, but I don't know anything about karate. So I would look at this like group class, and I would go, if you need me to show you how, let me know. I would go into my journal and I would create katas. I'll have to go look at that. Katas. I would do that. How long did I hold those forms? How long was that? So maybe it was a 15-minute drilling session where you were holding forms. Then I would count that as 75 repetitions. An hour of group training, we've always suggested, counts as 300 repetitions. Donna asked me about Tai Chi. How does Tai Chi count? So let me ask y'all to see if I've done my job today, because I'm feeling like I hadn't. So how does Tai Chi count? How do y'all think, based upon the multiple explanations I gave today, could anybody draw a conclusion on how to count Tai Chi? How would you count that? Correct. To be fair to our peer group, when we're doing a challenge, we would count 1 hour of that as 300 repetitions. How many repetitions would we count 30 minutes of Tai Chi? Exactly. Good deal. So we've got it. We've got it now. Awesome. I went way over today, but that's okay. My next appointment is just in another room. Today, it's not get in the car. It's in another room. Any other questions? Sherry's asking, how long do you walk at the target heart rate? As long as you will. As long as you will, Sherry. Remember, once you're in efficient fat burning, every step burn. Does anybody remember how many steps? How many calories one step burns? Four percent of a calorie. That doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're walking, that's a lot. So as long as you will, right? If you've got an hour, give me an hour. If you got 2 hours, give me 2 hours. You got 3, give me 3. Walking is nobody's ever not. Walking is the healthiest activity that you can do. That's an exercise type application. But we want to get to our target heart rate zone and leave it there. That's very mild, by the way. That's not high. So 220. I'm 51. So that puts me at 170 times 70%. That means I want to be around 109 to 129 range. 109, my heart rate at 109 to 129 for just as long as I have time to do it. That we want to invest, we want to get rid of that excess fat. We want to get rid of that excess fat. So as long as we will, without any pain. Discomfort, we push through discomfort and we stop at pain. Everybody repeat that. We push through discomfort and we stop at pain. Do y'all know the difference between discomfort and pain, right? We push through mental and physical discomfort. Discomfort mentally is it's not time to eat and I'm used to going on and eating anyway. So I push through the discomfort of not eating, not giving myself that until it's the right time to eat. Discomfort from a physical standpoint is working soreness out, like you're sore from a day ago, working that out. It's not comfortable. It's not painful. Pain is you've got a torn MCL. When you squat below parallel, there's excruciating pain in your kneecap. This is pain. We stop at pain and push through discomfort. Kim, that's not a stupid question. I am going to refer you to Joni. Kim Arnold, Joni. Kim Arnold can't find her badges on her phone when on Safari. Can you help her with that, Joni? This is our partner, Kim Arnold. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, bro. Joni, Kim got a Sugar Britches badge that she didn't deserve, so probably just something wrong in her journal. If you could help her determine what that is, I sure would be appreciative. Kim Arnold, Joni's going to reach out to you. Anybody else? Any other questions before I go? I'm sorry, I felt like I talked a mile a minute today. Sorry and I'm really sorry about I just forgot about the planks. I forgot about having to enter those every second as a repetition. I need to get back on that development, but we've got other better developments coming, so it'll probably be a while before I fix that one. Oh, thank you, Diane. When I don't feel like I've done a good job, somebody tells me I did a good job. When I feel like I did a great job, I usually hear something about I didn't do. So I appreciate you sharing, letting me off the hook. I really felt bad about botching up the plank thing. Anybody else? It's always great to go on and take that extra 5 minutes a day to journal and log your exercises. You'll be glad you did 2, 3, 4 years from now as you see those charts. You see all the improvement in your exercises that are important to you. It's amazing when I look back, when I started exercising, 2017 was really my beginning. I lost my weight, had kept it off, but I started exercising about 2017. It's amazing to see how much stronger, how much more fit I've got. And if I hadn't have journaled all those repetitions, I would have no idea how far I'd come. I'd just be thinking, well, I've come pretty far. But to look back and see I was only bench pressing 105 pounds and now I'm bench pressing 225, that's really important to me. It makes me feel good. I'm glad I journaled and I'm glad I kept progress photos. All right, y'all. Everybody good? We will meet again tomorrow. Tomorrow, don't forget to come tomorrow. I won't be here Thursday. I will be on I-75. So we're headed towards Georgia for son's graduation. And I will not be able, it doesn't appear I will be able to do the 11 o'clock session on Thursday. But we should be back in action on Friday. And then, of course, next week. Alice, I appreciate you too. I love y'all all so very, very much. I don't know what I'd do without you. Thank you to all of our partners. Y'all are giving us hope on a daily basis. We are still way behind. We're approaching 6-figure losses for the year. Thank goodness that they let women owners borrow money. But we are really seeing a lot of hope as we're now, I think, 60 plus partners. And it's just such a blessing to see people rally around us and help us get Shibboleth stable. So keep praying about that. If God leads you to be a partner, our partners are saving our rear ends. It's getting a little. We can see 6 months from now, if we can keep adding partners at this rate, how Shibboleth for the first time in its history will be healthy. And please help us with that. Yep, we will see y'all tonight. God bless you. Jack will be in the in fine form at Jack Attack at 8 p.m. tonight. Until then, God bless, and we'll see you. Oh, Shonda, Travis, I did send a message to oh, okay. I haven't seen that, but thank you for goodness. Thank you for considering. If you don't mind sending it to me, forwarding it over when you get a chance. Sorry for I'll make sure that we get Sasha to look at it. Her inbox is bombarded. She's working like 2 jobs right now to roll out the new stuff. We're going to have a re-grand opening. We think a re-grand opening July the 4th. So but we're working really hard because we want to surprise and all our partners and our lifetime members with all these developments. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. God bless you. See ya.